Alright, sorry, I had to cut the video a little bit there. Alright, where was, Marie, we've already talked about the book, you dumbass. Whoa, hey! Alright,
I got it.
Oh, right, he had cuts on his body, right? Remember how Glenn had 2 stab wounds to the stomach? Maybe those were the first wounds he received. I like how it's not like, I don't have repercussions, I just solved the mystery and be done. And of course, I'm not sure those would be enough to kill him, so maybe he lived long enough to write in his notebook before the killer realized he was still alive and finished him off. You can already imagine it. Glenn on the ground, gasping for air, quickly writing as much as he can in his notebook. Then the murderer, with no compassion for the beauty of life, noticed Glenn, his hand moving, writing. Quickly, the killer lifts the blood-drenched knife up to their head and violently...
Stop that.
Stop it! Saki wants me to point out how he had his hand on his neck too, which I think also shows he lived for a little bit after the attack. Exactly. Give it up, Marina. I know you want to defend your girl, but it's obvious she did it. No. I know Angela, and I know this isn't right. You know, the more I look into it, the more likely it is that Glenn died instantly.
Explain this.
If Glenn lived for a little bit after the attack, why didn't he scream? 2 stabs to the stomach wouldn't eliminate his ability to scream, would it? Even if the killer was covering his mouth, I still think we'd hear something due to our Wolf's horrendous sound-blocking abilities. Maybe he was worried about waking someone up, so he just took the pain and stayed quiet. Wouldn't he want to wake us up if he was being murdered, so that we could help him? Nah, that would require him having to talk to other people. I think that's a little far-fetched. Anyone would scream if attacked, just by reflex. I assert the killer stabbed him in the neck, killing him instantly. Then they posed his body to make it look like he had lived long enough to reach for his neck. During the initial attack, they could have panicked and stabbed him a couple more times in the stomach to be sure he died, or they could have stabbed him after with the purpose of creating the argument Marie used. Finally, they wrote Ang in the notebook to make it look like Glenn in his dying moments had tried to write the name of his killer. And you guys fell right for it. Tell me, wouldn't the killer have noticed Glenn writing that? Why wouldn't they have ripped the page out and hid somewhere? It's super dark here at night. How would Glenn have been able to write in the first place? And do I even have to speak more on that stupid letter? Well, I don't have anything to necessarily debunk the fact that Angela wrote it. You guys have nothing to prove that she did. Yeah, there is. She wrote her name at the bottom of the letter, don't you remember? Like I said previously, literally anyone could have written that letter and signed off as Angela. Honestly, she's kind of right. Why wouldn't Glenn scream? Why wouldn't the murderer have got rid of the book? I don't think we'll get anywhere if we continue to accuse Marina. We still have a lot to discuss anyway, and there's no stuff just distracting us. Hey Marie, didn't you hear something last night? A scream, perhaps? Oh, right. Yeah, that was definitely not a scream. Sounded more like a loud slam, like someone dropping something really heavy or closing their door really hard. You know what? I think I remember hearing that too. And you guys just ignored it? I just wanted to get back to sleep. I didn't think it would be anything. Well, I had just assumed it was Nora, Autumn, and Harmony being annoying, since they already had to deal with their loudness earlier that night. But it still concerned me a little, so I tried to wake someone up to tell them. No one responded though, so I just lost interest and went to bed. You did? Yeah, I did hear her say something, but I wasn't fully awake at the time, so... She said it like right in my ear, so I sure did wake up. I thought a spirit was talking to me, but no, just Marie complaining. And using my night vision abilities, I looked around the room and saw everyone was asleep. So, like, no one was out killing Glenn or whatever. Wait, so Angela's in the room with everyone sleeping too, right? Yeah. You couldn't have brought that up when everyone was accusing us. Well, it could have been a dummy put in her bed to make her look like she was sleeping, so... I mean, to be fair, I know Marina's giving her that look, but there are dummies in the, laundromat, aren't there? So, unlike the clothing store, so yeah, it's possible. Melody, would you have been able to communicate with Glenn's spirit using your ghost hunting stuff? I actually did try during the investigation, but I wasn't able to reach him. Well, I was able to reach him, but he just wouldn't say or do anything.
Sounds about right.
Sounds like Glenn. Hey, why don't we figure out what that sound Marie heard was? Perhaps there was no door slam and it was all Marie's head. The entire killing game is all in her head. Marie, you're in a coma and you need to wake up. This is our only way of reaching you. Please wake. Oh, shut up. But I heard it too, so she couldn't have imagined it? Maybe it was a bird hitting someone's cabin. Maybe someone fell to their death and we heard the sound of their body hit the ground at high speed. Hey, maybe this entire killing game is all in our heads. We all died on the bus right here, and now we're stuck in some sort of killing game purgatory. I can see Glenn's spirit being mad at how he went out. Maybe what Marie heard was him throwing something. Perhaps someone just fell out of bed. Guys! It was probably the killer slipping in the shower or all washing the blood off. Maybe it was me! Ah! Everyone's throwing out ideas and not letting Alexander talk. I need to shut them up so he can say whatever he needs to say. Yes, it's me again. It looks like you're about to play Emily's shooting gallery. The point of this one is to quiet everyone down, so how do I represent that in a game form? Basically, just click on all the orange text 5 times till it disappears and ignore the blue text. Of course, all the text is bouncing around the screen all crazy to add difficulty, and you have a time limit of 30 seconds, but it's pretty easy. Now get to work, the rest of the campus are waiting on you. This is new. Get rid of it! Go! God, they're so fast! God, Jesus Christ! This is really difficult! This is like Hangman's Gambit! Oh, I got it! STFU. Guys, shut it! Alexander, you look like you want to say something. What is it? Oh, that wasn't easy. Was that like Hangman's Gambit, like the replacement for it?
It's whatever.
I don't really think it matters, actually. Carry on. Just say it. Yeah, I went for that clearly ridiculously hard minigame in order to make you say it. Whether you think it matters or not, it doesn't hurt to say. As Monokuma said, we don't have a time limit or anything restricting us. Okay, well... I went to the shop at 12:30 like the note Angela sent me asked. And I waited there for a little bit, because, you know, I wanted to tell her I wasn't interested. So I was just sitting on the bench, waiting.
Well...
Then I saw someone coming from the forest with a knife. I would have beat them up, but I didn't want to accidentally kill them or anything, so I just ran back to my cabin. Dude, you should have! Then Glenn wouldn't have died! When I got back to my cabin, I slammed my door pretty hard as a warning. Right. So what we heard was you slamming your door, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why was that hard for you to say? Well, because I didn't think you guys would believe I wasn't scared. The average person would be horrified at seeing someone with a knife approaching from the darkness, but not me. I'm telling you, I would have beat the dude's ass if it weren't for the killing game crap. And even if I did kill him, I'm sure I would have gotten away with it. I just didn't want to have to get the rest of you guys killed, you know? Wait, so you got to the shop at 12:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 minutes late though. And you were waiting at the shop for how long? I don't know, 2 minutes maybe? I saw the murderer come out of the forest pretty soon after I got there. So, Alexander slammed his door at around 12:40, and Glenn died at 12:52. Melody, I recall you saying you woke up to the door slam with Marie and saw that everyone in the room was asleep, correct?
So basically...
That would mean that if one of the girls at the sleepover was the Blackened, they would have had around 12 minutes to sneak out of Angela's cabin and commit the murder. I think that's a little ridiculous and compulsive. Would you guys see everyone at the sleepover as pretty much in the clear?
Nope.
No. Oh? Why not? Melody could be lying about seeing everyone sleep. Maybe her and Angela planned the murder with each other and Melody is just making a fake alibi. Seriously. So you're saying Melody and Angela teamed up to kill Glenn, and Melody only says that she saw everyone asleep to clear Angela of suspicion? Yep. Well, I think I would have woken up if anyone had tried to leave the room. The cabin doors are super creaky, and I'm a very light sleeper. As Nora and Autumn would know. Lighten up! We're just having fun! Plus, Angela doesn't like... Oh, whoops, dropped my phone. Angela doesn't like Melody or whatever. Angela could have faked hating Melody. Faked hating Melody. When they really were friends the whole time, secretly plotting. Plus, wasn't Angie in control yesterday, not Angela? And I don't think Angie hates Melody, considering she invited her to the sleepover. Angela hates Melody, but Angie doesn't? What did Melody do? You tell me. Do you have anything to do with television? I'm the host of Melody's Paranormal Hunt, the best ghost hunting show on television. Oh, that explains it. Angela hates everyone and anyone involved with television. I recommend not discussing anything about television with her, ever. Angie, on the other hand, don't talk about television to her either. She doesn't hate it like Angela does, but the topic brings her really bad memories.
That explains it.
Huh, that explains it. No wonder both reacted that way when I mentioned my talent. And I never told Angie about my show, so I guess that's why she's fine with me. Yeah, Angela would never work with you if she knew you had a TV show. But as Melody said, she never told Angie. And Angie was the one in control last night, so she could have still worked with her. I guess, but why would she have tried to frame Angela with those other things? That's basically incriminating herself.
I wonder...
Maybe Angie wanted to make it look like they were being framed so that we use it as evidence to say she's not the killer. Maybe. But then what about that creaky-ass door? Okay, but can we talk about who Alexander saw coming out of the forest? Me and the girls were out in the lake when this happened. Like, the idea of the murderer watching us is making me want to puke. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. Ew! I knew it. Me and Saki had a feeling we were being watched. Didn't you leave Saki on the pier when you got in? Me and Saki are able to talk from any distance. Telepathy. Outstanding. That's been one of the more difficult things for me and my family to master. Crazy how you two have managed to learn such advanced things without any help from my leader. I'm a little jealous. Oh, it's nothing. Me and Saki are just the bestest of friends. Okay, but who did Alex see? I want to know so I can curb stomp their ass. I think it's safe to say it was the killer. Mr. Normandy said they had a knife, correct? Mm-hmm. The killer probably murdered Glenn after they found his hiding spot. And while they were walking back to the camp, they noticed Alex waiting for his booty call. And then when Alex escaped, they moved Glenn's body to the camp for some reason. I don't think it was the killer that Alexander saw. There's another person it could very well be. It was Dennis. Wait. Can I not go back and check the evidence? Is pressing escape gonna do anything? Who doesn't have an alibi and who would it have been? Oh, I know, it's Glenn.
I got it.
Got it, alright. I actually think it was probably Glenn. Makes sense. Didn't he have a knife with him or something? He did. Looked to be a survival knife. Of course, with his talent. I guess the silhouette did sort of match him. Thus, that would explain how he even got back here in the first place. He walked here on his own. Maybe he changed his mind about living in the forest and wanted to come back. Why did he even leave in the first place? Yeah, he should have just stayed with us. He left because he was scared of being murdered. He left because his biggest fear was being murdered. Yeah. He told me Marie and Victor about his phobia a couple nights before he left. He thought the only way he'd be able to feel safe is if he left all of us, but that obviously wasn't true. Well, he did die when he, for whatever reason, came back, so, like, he could have been right. And, like, let's just be honest. You telling everyone his plan probably contributed to his death.
Sheesh.
Nora, don't say that. Like you said, Glenn came back himself. It's not like the killer went out and searched for him. We don't know that yet. Maybe the killer lured him out of the forest. And how exactly would they have done that? Maybe with a letter like they did Alexander. No. I think Glenn would have known to be wary of that stuff considering the lengths he went to avoid being killed. He probably realized he didn't like it out there and wanted to come back. Maybe an animal forced him to leave wherever he was staying. It was raining last night. Perhaps he wanted to come back until the storm passed. I should know a good reason for why he came back. I need to listen to what everyone's saying. Right, it's,
Yeah, the rain probably forced him to leave.
The wild animal probably scared him. Poor thing.
Nah, I can agree with that.
Maybe he forgot something?
I don't think so. He took everything from his room.
No, that's it.
Dude was probably scared of the dark. Wimp.
It's his monopad. He probably
Hey,
came back.
shut it.
He came back to get his
Does it really matter
monopad.
why he came back? There are a lot of explanations, and us figuring it out doesn't tell us the murderer.
It might. We don't know. I think I missed something. I need to listen to the points again. Yeah, it's the monopad. He came back for the
the rain
monopad.
probably forced him to leave.
The wild animal probably scared him. Poor thing. Maybe he forgot something?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He needed to have his monopad, otherwise he would have been punished. No, he actually did forget something. Oh, he did? His room looked pretty ransacked from what we saw.
You say it, Kim.
Kim, why don't you say what it was? Me? Yeah, you talked to Glenn about this, so you should be the one to tell everyone. To be honest, I'm not sure I get what you're referring to. Remember, he had a certain thing in his room that he should have taken. Marie, I'm not very great when put on the spot like this. His monopad. Oh, right! Monokuma said he could only leave if he showed up to class trials and bring his monopad. Mm-hmm. And when we were searching his room, I noticed he seemed to have left his monopad behind. And I kind of forgot about it because I didn't think it was that important. He would have forgotten one of the only requirements for his plan. How would he have forgotten one of the only requirements? Well, he hadn't slept for a few days, had he? I doubt his mind was in the right place. Maybe the killer stole it from him, so we'd think he forgot it and have no choice but to come back. If only we had someone here who was particularly into thievery. Why wouldn't I just kill him while I'm in the forest? Why would I add the extra step of luring him back? Plus, he was murdered while I was hanging with the girls, so... Wait, why is any of this important anyways? I understand that explains why he would have come back, but doesn't that doesn't explain but does that help explain who killed him?
Not exactly.
Not necessarily, but it does give me an idea. It's pretty obvious the note sent to Alexander was not sent with the purpose of getting intimate. Rather, it was sent as a way to lure him to his demise. Wait, it was? However, before the attacker was able to get within their grips, Glenn arrived. Reason doesn't necessarily matter, but him going to get his monopad would put him directly on the path where he eventually died. So I think we should stick with that. So when the killer saw Glenn, they switched targets from Alexander to him? Exactly. Glenn, in the process of retrieving his monopad, inadvertently saved Alexander's life while sacrificing his own. Of course, this is all hypothetical and heavily reliant on Alexander's testimony, which he could very well be faking. You're telling the truth, right, Alexander?
Don't worry.
I'm a man of my word. This case is life or death for me too, so why would I lie? Well, if you were the killer, you'd have every reason to. Okay, well I promise I'm not the killer. Murder's for chumps, that's why I didn't attack Glenn when I saw him last night. And also because you were scared. No I wasn't. Okay, well, I think we can all agree that Alexander's writer is the same person who killed Glenn, correct? So, then Glenn being the victim was probably not the original plan. So Kim telling us didn't result in his death.
You're dumb.
Oh. No. Get the last of that. Me, Autumn, and Harmony were outside swimming when Glenn was supposedly attacked. Don't you think we would have found his body when we got to go back to our cabins? Yeah, we walked right over where his body was right now, and there was nothing. Exactly. I feel like this entire note thing is made up. I bet Alexander lured Glenn out of the forest to kill him. Seriously? Yeah. I mean, the only thing we have supporting what he's saying is the note, which he could have made himself. I don't really think he's lying. All this note stuff does, really, is put unneeded attention on him, which isn't exactly what you want when committing a murder. Well, he could have done all of this to create a fake alibi. If he made it seem like the killer tried to attack him, then he's obviously not the killer. Okay, dude, come on, I didn't do shit. What about the door slam? That's another part of his story. He could have easily just slammed his door last night with the hope that someone would hear and bring it up during the trial. Oh, you know what else? Harmony, Autumn, did either of you see Alexander walk by while we were out there? I don't think so. I don't remember ever seeing him. There's only really one path from the cabins to the shop, so we should have passed by where we would have seen. You know, I didn't see you guys either. I guess the bridge and water are in different time zones or something. That's not how time zones work.
I'm telling the truth.
Hey, I don't think Alex is lying. He came to me after he got the note and seemed pretty genuine. Oh, he did? Yeah! Right before I went to sleep, he came knocking on my door. He was super hyped. He was all nervous too, so he wanted to ask me for advice. Like, should he actually go see her? And I was like, duh, don't leave a girl hanging. He asked for advice from you? Dude, okay, first off, I wasn't hyped. I was actually pretty chill. Emily was the hype one. And Emily's actually gives pretty good advice. She's cool. Yeah. Go to the obvious death trap is fantastic advice. Well, why exactly wouldn't we have seen him pass by, huh? Probably for the same reason you never saw Glenn's body either. Though you three are 100% certain he was swimming by the pier, right? Mm-hmm. That place is pretty distinct. Not like we were swimming by some random pier. We knew where we were. Mm-hmm. We would have seen Alexander, and we would have seen Glenn's body for sure. Suki, do you think he was moved? Moved? Yeah. Maybe they killed Glenn somewhere else and moved his body later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like maybe they killed him at the shop. Or be out of view from us and we never went over there. Well, how would he have moved his body? Wouldn't there have been blood along the path where they moved him? Perhaps they carried him and used Harmony's clothes as a tourniquet and rag to clean up his body. Then, of course, they would have been able to use Harmony's clothes to clean up any blood left at the original crime scene.
What?
Harmony's clothes? Why Harmony's clothes? Me, Hunter, Marie, and Victor found some of Harmony's really bloody clothes in the laundry room. You did? Why didn't we talk about that first? Doesn't that heavily implicate Harmony? I didn't bring it up because I don't think it makes Harmony suspicious. First of all, she left her clothes out the night before to dry so the killer could have easily taken them to frame her. Exactly. Second, if she was the killer, why wouldn't she have washed them? They were already in the washer, all she had to do was turn it on. Maybe she just forgot. I'm not stupid! Okay, well, I don't really think Harmony's clothes would be able to hold that much blood. I'm sure at least a little would have been left behind if he really was moved. Plus, why would they have even moved him in the first place? So that no one swimming would have seen the body, duh? Yes, but I mean, why would they have moved the body from the shop to the outhouse after the girls had already left? Isn't that more work and thus more possible evidence left behind? They could have just left the body where they killed him and it would basically be the same. Maybe to cause confusion like this, they might have wanted the case to seem more complicated than it really is so we would waste our time. No. I just remembered. Me and Autumn did leave Harmony alone for a few minutes. You did? Yeah, since her clothes were all wet from me and Autumn splashing, we told her we'd get out to get a new clothes, so...
Right.
Right. And that's when I went out to yell at you guys for being loud, correct? Hell were you even arguing about? I think I was getting frustrated at Nora for being really mean, and I did get a bit loud. I sure did. I think I remember this actually. I was half asleep, however, so I didn't really acknowledge it. Crazy to think that while I was getting lectured by Marie, Harmony was out killing Glenn. Nora? Really trying to say I killed Glenn in the 5 minutes you guys left me alone? Yeah, actually, I am. Why were you guys getting new clothes? Couldn't she have just gotten them when she was done swimming? No, because... Wait!
Seriously?
Oh, you're both scared to say it, huh? Oh, okay. Got it. Alright. Oh dear. Not even that embarrassing. Okay, they couldn't because they were skinny dipping, weren't they? They didn't have clothes. They weren't even wearing swimsuits, were they? I want to say it because I know it'll embarrass Autumn. I don't give a damn about it myself, but I know Autumn does.
Idiot.
Look at you, all worried about her. Listen, it's not important. What you guys need to know is that we left this bitch alone for a few minutes and, to embarrass her a bit, we were all skinny dipping. Oh dear. Oh, there's actually CG. You guys were skinny dipping. I mean, I guess. Me and Autumn were gonna swim like normal, but Harmony was already in the lake doing it alone like a weirdo freak. Was singing. Not that weird. So Harmony started it, yeah, I joined in, but that's because it sounded fun. I just joined in because they were doing it. Skinny dipping sounds much more our age than having some childish sleepover. Nora, be nice. I'm sure the sleepover was a lot of fun.
Anyway.
I don't really want that on my screen, I'm sorry. I know it's like fan service, but we never saw that, there's no point in having that. Moving on. Me and Autumn were splashing a little, and since Harmony put her clothes right on the edge of the pier, they got wet. Before we got out, Autumn said she felt bad and forced me to go with her to get Harmony some extra clothes so she wouldn't have to walk to her cabin naked. Which means she was alone for a little bit and could have killed Glenn. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So when did you guys go get her new clothes? We got out, so like 2 AM. Didn't Glenn die at 12? Yeah, he did. So Harmony being alone at 2 isn't very suspicious. If she was alone at 12:52, that would be a different story. Exactly. So I didn't do shit. I think we're getting a bit sidetracked with the skinny dip situation. So... I'm sure we're able to confidently say Glenn was not killed within the time Autumn and Nora left Harmony alone. Unless one of them was left alone at another point, then I think we can also say none of them are the murderer. I can't get over the fact that the killer apparently moved Glenn for no real reason. If he was killed somewhere else, why move him? Maybe Harmony didn't want Shinatsu to find the body and tell everyone. Hunter? Now you're saying I did it too? No. Hunter is just accusing everyone who was brought up. He's like freaking Yasuhiro. Hiding from Shinatsu could be a valid reason, although I don't see why they'd have moved him so far. And does Chinatsu even count for the body discovery witnesses? It appears to me as if Monokuma wants to keep Chinatsu out of this as much as possible, so I don't see why he'd include her in something like that. No, Chinatsu does not count. Don't even talk about her, she doesn't need the attention. Just as I thought. Although the killer likely didn't know this and could have moved them super safe. Again, why would they have moved me so far? I just realized, we never really talked about what the killer did after the murder. We know a bit about before and during, but not really what they did after. Well, they'd have probably had to have cleaned the blood off themselves, so perhaps they went into the shower.
Alrighty.
No, they cleaned themselves in the river. Okay, we can decide the murderer now. What? Why would they have cleaned themselves in the river? We all have showers! No, he might be onto something. I think I found something that suggests what Hunter's saying. Okay, the class trial doesn't appear to have any intervals, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this video here, and we will finish the trial in the next video, or at least get some significant process in it. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.